Hello and welcome to the HHH Racing Podcast, episode 89. I'm your host, Howard Kravitz. I am so excited and happy that you've joined me tonight for the beginning of four fantastic episodes right here on the HHH Racing Podcast, talking all about the Breeders' Cup. A few quick reminders. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button right over there. The subscribers are going up and up. I greatly appreciate it. Please make sure you subscribe if you have not. After you subscribe, or even if you have subscribed, hit that notification bell so you know when all the new content for the Breeders' Cup will be popping up and you'll be informed, especially if you do not follow me on Twitter. Speaking of Twitter, you can see in my name tag there below. You can follow me on Twitter at H Kravitz. I'm going to have a bunch of information on there. And then, as some of you know, I'm also going to be going to the Breeders' Cup in a week and a half at Del Mar. I'll be sending out a whole bunch of information and pictures and stories, etc., from Del Mar itself, pictures from the paddock. You need to follow me on Twitter. It's going to be great. Also, you can email me with questions, comments, concerns about the show. You can see it on the scroll at the bottom of the screen. hkravitzhorse at gmail.com. Again, hkravitzhorse at gmail.com. We already have a lot of people here watching on live here. If you're watching live, please make sure you place the comments there on the top right hand part of the screen. Any questions, and I'll bring them on for you. If you are watching this as a replay, thanks for watching as a replay. Please comment below the video player on YouTube. Any questions, comments, concerns. You can listen to this as you're driving to work through your phone on YouTube. You can listen to this at home watching TV or whatever you might be doing. This is must watch and listen podcast information on the Breeders' Cup. We're going to have four shows. So let me tell you, before I get into those shows, I've got a race day blog, and I have something going on Twitter. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, please pay attention carefully. If you have not subscribed to the race day blog, all you have to do to receive a free, who does this? Free blog, my entire Breeders' Cup blog. I'm sending out two of them, one for Friday, one for Saturday. And if you do not subscribe to this channel yet, all you have to do, subscribe to the channel, and then email me. Again, this is if you're not on Twitter, you'll have to email me. Email me, hkravitzhorse at gmail.com, your full name, full and last name, and then I'll have your email, of course, also. And it's a private list, so no one will know about it. Who else is on the email? And I will send it out to you, the blog, for free. Again, all you have to do, first time subscribers, subscribe to the podcast, and then email me your first and last name, and you're good to go. You already know this if you follow me on Twitter. The Race Day blog is fantastic. It's inexpensive, but you'll get it for free for the Breeders' Cup if you subscribe to my YouTube channel and email me your first and last name. Now, I see a lot of comments already coming up. I'll be happy to. I see already got Ralph, Tom. I'll get back to those comments in just a minute. What's happening on the show? So, first of all, let me take this off. As you see on the scroll on the bottom of the screen, tomorrow, and this is must-watch TV, we're going to have almost 6 hours, folks, almost 6 hours of Breeders' Cup coverage right here on the HHH Racing Podcast tomorrow. Davey Lane, my friend and yours, a great handicapper from the UK, is coming on live, and the time is different tomorrow because of the time change there in Europe. I want to keep Davey up till 3 in the morning. We're going live tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern. You can see it on the scroll. 5 p.m. Eastern. It is all European horses and a few Asian horses conversation. Any foreign invaders coming for the Breeders' Cup. We're going to literally show like 20 replays. I have them already lined up there on my monitor on the right side there. We're going to show a whole bunch of replays. It is only going to be talking about the Euros and any foreign invaders coming in. This is must-watch TV tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, right here on the HHH Racing Podcast with Davey Lane. Next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, you can see there on the screen. Tuesday and Wednesday, 8 p.m. Tuesday is going to be the Breeders' Cup Friday show. preview, and next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, will be the Breeders' Cup Saturday preview show. I've got great handicappers lined up, and I got some surprises. Are you listening? Jockeys, live jockeys, probably on both days, for sure on Tuesday. Working on to get some jockeys here on the show on Wednesday, here live to answer your questions and talk about their horses. So we've got handicapping, we've got jockeys coming on live. It's going to be a great conversation. Again, next Tuesday and Wednesday for the previews of the Friday and Saturday big days at Del Mar. Let's get some comments up here real quick. Ralph, oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is going to be absolutely fun. Mike, first time caller. Mike, thanks for joining the show. Really appreciate it. Listen, Mike, you got to tell your friends, folks. The HHH Racing podcast started in late January. It's been growing ever since. We have over almost 32,000 views, close to 600 subscribers. We are growing by leaps and bounds. I really, if you're new to the show, you're going to find great information. Ralph, how about a shot of you on a horse? Ralph, I'll work on that. I don't know if anyone's going to allow me on a horse at Del Mar in a week and a half, but we'll work on that. Tom Espinoza, my good friend from San Francisco. Tom, I won't tell anyone you're at work. Hopefully you've dried out in there at San Francisco. I know you guys had a lot of wet weather. CJ Andrews joining us from, oh boy, CJ, don't get mad at me. South Dakota? I think it's South Dakota. If it's North Dakota, I greatly apologize. One of the Dakotas. Echo Zulu. We'll talk about Echo Zulu next week. CJ, so you'll have to tune in next week for Echo Zulu convo on the juvenile fillies, but she's really good and really fast. Don Allen. Don, thanks for joining the show. Yes, Don, the order of the races are posted through Breeders' Cup. We're not going to talk about the order specifically tonight, but yes, the entire wagering menu, pick fours, pick fives, pick threes when those are happening, and the order of the races, all that information is available on breederscup.com or a zillion other places. And Michael Bryant will close out with your comment. Michael's a great viewer of the show. Michael, thanks for watching. So, folks, let's jump in. Here's what's happening tonight. We're going to talk about an hour, only about the pre-entries. We're going to talk about what happened today. All the pre-entries were announced, and there's some very interesting things that are going on, and some things you might not know about. So, with the assumption that everyone's going to be handicapping this weekend, listen, do not wait until next week. Start your handicapping now. You can get past performance of all the pre-entries. The draw is Monday, folks. The draw for all the races is Monday when they announce exactly who is in and the post positions. Start your handicapping now. Do your handicapping this weekend. This is a great show. Just start your handicapping because we're going to talk a little bit about handicapping tonight, but mainly about where horses might end up in which races. So I'm going to be doing a lot of switching screens and a bunch of things. We're not watching any replays tonight. I'm not bringing up any past performances. So if you're here for that, please wait until tomorrow and next week. Tonight, we're just going to look at the list of the pre-entries, and I'm going to make a bunch of comments on inside information I have, including information on some European horses. Please make sure you comment top right-hand side of the screen if you're live in the chat on anything that I bring up, and I'll be happy to answer as many questions as possible. All right, let's jump in here as I go ahead, and we're going to pull up the first screen. And all these screens are care of TVG, so thank you, TVG. They have a really nice display. I like the screen they have up. Let's jump right in right now. All right, and I'm going to go ahead. Let me put the background up too. I didn't even put up my background banner for the HHH Racing podcast. Oh my goodness, there it is. All right. So I'll be going full screen also. In fact, let's go. I'm going to go full screen quite a bit tonight. So there's no reason you don't really need to see me as much tonight. We're going to go full screen. Let's go full screen right now. This is the field, the pre-entries for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. By the way, this is not, let me repeat, this is not necessarily in order of the races that are happening on Friday or Saturday. Let me put myself back on screen. I'm going to talk about the Friday races first. So we're going to talk about the Friday races first. But again, the order of the races are not necessarily the order that I'm going through the races tonight. I will go through the order of the races next week. The juvenile sprint. You can see all the names there. You got Armour, Averly Jane, Dairy Name. Go Bears Go in a hierarchy are coming over from overseas. One timer, fast horse for Ravelli. Quick Susie, also from overseas. Run Curtis Run. Slipstream, you see it says first preference. Slipstream should be going in the juvenile turf. So I do not believe Slipstream will be going in this race. It looks like he's going to the juvenile turf. Twilight Gleaming, Twilight Jet, and Vertiginous all will be going to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. Now, uh, assuming Slipstream goes to the Juvenile Turf, one of these horses, go ahead and switch the screen here. One of these horses, and this is in order, you can see an order of preference. It looks like Time to Party will be getting in. We don't know yet for sure. Wait until Monday. But it looks like Time to Party for Peter Miller will be getting in. And I don't think he can win the race, but he's very fast early and may have an effect on the pace flow. If he doesn't get in, then the next one up could be Coffee Maker for Wesley Ward. Again, these are the orders of the horses that would come in if there's any defections, injuries, people decide to go somewhere else, not enter, etc. So there's the main body of the field. You're going to have, listen, folks, it's going to be a 12 horse field at Del Mar going 5 furlongs. It's going to be an absolute war in this race. So let me go ahead and put that screen down there. We got a quick comment from Michael. Does anything have the jockeys? I'm not really sure, Michael. You're gonna have to clarify about that. Siggy Mendoza, Siggy, thanks for joining the show tonight. Greatly appreciate it. We're gonna talk about Tribuvon here tonight, Siggy. I will answer your question, but I would agree with you. It looks like Tribuvon will get in. Again, that's very preliminary, but it sure looks that way right now for Tribuvon. All right, let's go ahead as I go ahead and switch some screens here. We're going to go ahead next and talk about the juvenile fillies turf. Again, this is going 2 turns as I go ahead and set up the screen here right now. Let me turn off Siggy, and here we go. There you go, folks. Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. This is going to be a full field of 14. Let me answer Michael's question. Are you showing, what are you showing has horses and trainers listed at jock? Great question. Okay. The jockeys are not official yet, Michael. I'll be getting to that next week. So again, next week we'll talk about jockeys. They're not listed on here. They are not official yet, even on the past performances. So most of the past performances you'll find do not have jockeys listed yet. But if you look deep enough, you could probably find some possible jockeys on some of these horses. Okay, yes, Tom, I see your question. I understand what you're saying. Juvenile Phillies turf. This is going to be a full field of 14 guys. Unbelievable. This is going to be a fantastic race. You can see the full field right there. You got Bubble Rock for Brad Cox, Cachet coming from overseas, Kyra Memories from California, Consumer Spending, Diamond Wow, Hello You, a nice horse from Europe, Koala Princess for Honor Delacour, Malavath coming in from Europe, Mise en Scene coming from Europe. Pizza Bianca, one of the top horses here in the States. Sail By for Giamatti and from New York. Turner Lose for Cox. And Zane Claudette coming from overseas. There were some horses that were supposed to be coming in this race from overseas that are not coming. That were some of the better ones. I would not say the horses coming in from overseas are one of the better ones. This is an absolute wide open field completely. You can see there's no also eligibles here. So you have to assume all these horses are going in this race. If some horses don't go, here's the also eligibles. So Haughty would be coming in next for Chad Brown. Then Helen's Well for D'Amato from California. So again, if there are any defections, those are the horses that would be coming in preference. Again, details about the Euros, folks. Again, That's not what I wanted to do, but actually that works okay. You got me on the bottom of the screen. Actually, I think I'm going to leave that. You see me on the bottom of the screen there. It's not a feature I usually use, but I sort of like it. Um, Information about the Euros will be coming, folks, tomorrow, Thursday, and then detailed handicapping for all these juvenile races will be on my show Tuesday, 8 p.m. There's the field for the juvenile fillies. It's going to be a full field of 14. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get to the next race. Like I told you, there's going to be a lot of screen switching, so just be patient. The next race that we're going to talk about is the juvenile turf. This is the male turf race. So let's get right to it as I'm about to bring it up here. Juvenile males on the turf, and I'll tell you some comments and things happening here. By the way, Michael, I agree with you. Juvenile Phillies turf might be one of the most wide open races, folks, of the entire weekend. It's going to be fantastic. Great betting race. Let's get to the juvenile males. Juvenile males uh, at Del Mar. This is also going to be a field of 14. You got Al Bahar for Appleby, who won very nicely at Woodbine. Annapolis for Pletcher. Nice East Coast horse. Coinage, Dakota Gold, who won at Monmouth. Two horses coming in from Europe. Dubawi Legend, who is very live in this race. And then Gloon Thon for Aidan O'Brien. Grafton Street. Great Max coming in from Europe will be a long shot. McKinnon from California. Modern Games Portfolio Company. By the way, Modern Games, ladies and gentlemen, overseas in the overseas markets is favored in this race right now. Let me repeat that. Right now, as of I speak here on Wednesday evening, Modern Games is the current favorite overseas for this race. Portfolio Company, another Chad Brown, uh, Slipstream, who will be in this race most likely. Stolen Base for Maker, who just ran at Keeneland, and then Tiz the Bomb, who won at Keeneland very impressively. And if all these horses should be going in this race, but if a horse does not go, there are some horses that are on the also eligible list. I want to mention one horse here. Credibility is a nice horse, ready to perform, who is second also eligible for Brad Cox, is an up and coming big time closer. I would be a bit interested in ready to perform as a long shot if this horse comes in. Again, we're not going to talk about details of handicapping. I just want to mention that I think ready to perform. Great name, by the way, out of Kitten's Joy. You got it, everyone. Ready to perform. Love it. Love the name. Out of Kitten's Joy, a possible live long shot if he gets into the field for Brad Cox. Again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Again, Modern Games is going to be one of the favorites in this race, as is Annapolis is one of the favorites right now. Again, if you're interested in long shots, interesting, price plays, I'm going to do deep diving, of course, this weekend and come up with my final picks. I obviously have very strong opinions and have seen these horses run, ladies and gentlemen, all year long. And let me just tell you all, let me go full screen for a minute here. I've literally spent about 5 or 6 hours, folks, watching European replays and doing homework. So tomorrow's show, I have very strong opinions on the Euros tomorrow, but even better opinions will be my UK expert, Davey Lane, tomorrow. So whether you're watching this live or you're going to watch a replay, in the next 24 hours, please come on to the show or at least watch a replay of the show tomorrow, Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern. If you're betting the Breeders' Cup, you got to pay attention to the Euros. So there's the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Field. Alrighty, I think we will move on from that. Let me go ahead and change the screen here. Like I said, we're going to do a lot of changing of screens. So just be patient here. Next race. We're now going to the dirt. Let's go to the juvenile fillies on the dirt tomorrow for a week from Friday. This is a smaller field, as you can see, folks. This can be a smaller field here. There are only 9 on the screen, but Cairo Memories is one of them. There, you can see listed second, and I'm sure she's going to be going to the turf because she can get into that race. So there's only going to be 8. It looks like there's only going to be a field of 8 in this race in the Breeders' Cup juvenile fillies, but it is a very good field uh, at the top. I just want to mention some comments. Tom Espinoza, let's go to some comments real quick, said that Albar was running at Del Mar. Yes, so Albar is running, Tom. He run very well at Del Mar. Michael Bryant um, likes the Euros. Annapolis, he thinks he's the only possible American that can win. We'll see. I'm not so sure about that, Michael, but we'll talk more about that tomorrow with the Euros and, of course, next week as well. Um, right now, the favorite is Echo Zulu. She's very good. She's very fast. But boy, she has some competition. And let me just give you a little tease, folks. One of the jockeys, one of the jockeys riding in the juvenile fillies, and I've been in contact with this person. We are planning on having him on the show. That's right, a jockey who is riding a horse in the juvenile fillies. We are planning on having on the show. This person is traveling on Tuesday when we have our juvenile show. So it looks like the hope is, at least, that we're going to have a jockey riding this race on this show on Wednesday. Again, a jockey in the juvenile fillies race looks like will be live on the show Wednesday, even though the juvenile conversation is going to be on Tuesday, but again, he can't make it because he'll be traveling to Del Mar on Tuesday night. So again, you're going to want to listen to that. I'm not going to tell you who. It's a teaser. You'll find out. Uh, but anyway, Echo Zulu, big favorite. But listen, she's got some serious competition. Juju's Map is a nice horse. Hidden Connection is a nice horse. It's really only about 3 or 4 horses that could probably win this race. Not much to say, and other than talking about the handicapping, which we'll get into at a different night on next Tuesday. There's the juvenile fillies. It's a very strong race at the top of the market for sure. Alrighty, let's get on to the next race. This is going to be the juvenile. We're going to talk about the juvenile males. And let me tell you something, folks. This race, wow. This race is going to be something special. This is one of my most anticipated races of the entire weekend. This is a very talented juvenile, in my opinion. Real talented juvenile. Let's bring up the field for the juvenile or the possible field. First of all, you're going to have 14 horses. Can you imagine? 14 horses going a mile a 16th, 2-year-olds with a fairly short run into the first turn at Del Mar. Holy smokes. American Sanctuary. You got 3 in for Baffert if they all go here. You got Barbosa, Corniche, who's the best of the Bafferts right now, and Pinehurst. If they all go, it looks that way. They've all entered. You've got 2 for Pletcher, Command Performance, a horse I've given out on this show as a long shot, ran a great second to the favorite in this race, Jack Christopher. I'm very interested in Command Performance in this race. We'll talk more about him next Tuesday. Double Thunder, who finished second, that I saw in person when I was at Keeneland a few weeks ago. Giant Game just broke his maiden at Keeneland. Giant Game is a horse that Nick Hines, that's right, the Sarge, gave out on this show on the HHH Racing podcast. He loves this horse and its future. I'm not saying he loves Giant Game in this race in particular, but he loves Giant Game going forward. Jack Christopher. Michael Bryant likes Jack Christopher. Jack Christopher is going to be the favorite for sure in this race. I'd be very surprised if he's not. Is a very fast horse. Has to answer the 2-turn question, but is a very good horse. You have Jasper Great coming in from Japan, and then Jasper Crone, who wants to go to the turf, but he's probably not going to get into the turf. So we'll see what happens. But Jasper Great won his first race by 10 lengths in Japan, but it was a bit of a slow time. Oviat Class, nice closer for DeSormo. Papacat for Cassie, a horse out west. There's Pioneers. Rattle and roll. Rattle and roll. If you are a viewer of this show, Hopefully you cashed on Rattle and Roll. One at I believe he was 7-1. One of my long shots of the weekend a few weeks ago at Keeneland. They are running in this race. Originally, they said they weren't going to. McPeak decided a few weeks ago he changed his mind. Rattle and Roll will be doing that in the stretch, closing in this race. And then Tough to Tame. Now, I got another little surprise for you, folks. I guarantee, I mean, short of someone getting sick, guarantee a jockey in this race, a jockey in this race will be here live next Tuesday on the HHH Racing podcast to talk about their mount in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. I'm so thankful. We've had um, announcers on this show. We've had great handicappers on this show. We've had TV analysts on this show. Uh, we've had a former jockey on this show, but we're going to have our first active jockey on this show to talk about their mount in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, guaranteed. Who it's going to be, you'll have to watch and find out. It's called a teaser, folks, in the business. To entice people to watch the show, as if you need even more reason. Next Tuesday to talk about their mount in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. This is going to be a fantastic race, a huge field. Jack Christopher is going to be the favorite. He is absolutely no slam dunk. I have some very strong opinions in this race. Hopefully, they're going to be correct. There's the field for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Ladies and gentlemen, that will wrap up the fields for the Friday Breeders' Cup races. Don't go anywhere. We're not going anywhere yet. That'll wrap up the fields for the 5 Friday Breeders' Cup races. Again, any questions or comments on the juveniles, please put them in the chat. I realize many of you have probably not begun your deep dive or handicapping yet. Um, I've already done that, not only because it's the HHH Racing podcast, I want to make sure that I do my due diligence there. But of course, as many of you know, I'm going to be competing in the BCBC, the Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge, $10,000 entry. I won a seat into that, so I didn't have to pay the $10,000. It's live bankroll tournament. It's the biggest live money tournament in the world. I'll be at Del Mar competing against the best in the world. Cross my fingers. Hope to at least cash some tickets and make some noise in the BCBC at Del Mar in a week and a half. All right, let's get into the Saturday races. Now, Saturday, of course, none of these races are going to be juvenile races. And again, I'm not going, folks, in any particular order. You can see the order of the races online. Again, these are not, I repeat, not necessarily the order that the races are happening next Saturday. Let's go ahead and jump right in as I go ahead and set up the screen. The first race that we're going to talk about is one of the races that I'm not very excited about. That is going to be, whoops, sorry. There we go. Let me go that way. Okay. Juvenile, actually, I'm going to go back this way because I like seeing the HHH Racing podcast on there for Saturday. Sorry, not Juvenile. What am I saying? Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. I put out on Twitter, what's the over and under in this race? I said 7, and guess what? 7 have entered. So there's only 7. Everyone knows Gamine is a monster favorite in this race for Baffert. I don't think Gamine is the same as she was last year. I wish there was many good horses in this race to battle against Gamine. I still think Gamine can lose. Everyone thinks I'm crazy. That's fine. Bella Sofia is very good. I think that's probably the most likely one for Rudy Rodriguez. You got CC for McCarthy. Edgeway is a fast horse for Sadler. Cielo Talentoso has run some big races. Proud Emma and Truth Hurts have absolutely no chance in this race, most likely, unless something extremely bizarre happens. This is going to be most likely all Gamine. Gamine's going to be singled in almost every horizontal bet. This is a race that I'm most likely going to stay away from in the Breeders' Cup betting contest. I do not have a desire. I can do a lot of different screens, folks. Sorry, I don't want to make you dizzy. Just trying a few things out. I'm probably staying away from this race in the Breeders' Cup betting challenge. This is going to be most likely a watch for me, but I'm playing pick 4s and pick 5s, etc. And by the way, let me go full screen. all detailed pick four, pick five sequences. I'm going to have a huge blog, folks, a huge blog. That's the race day blog if you're not familiar with it. Information is down below the video player. You have to get it through Patreon. Unless you are not a subscriber to the show. If you're not a subscriber, all you got to do is subscribe. Again, as I said, send me an email with your full name and you'll get it for free. But we already have a lot of people that are subscribing to the show. You're going to get detailed information, pick fours, pick fives, ABC grids, everything about the show. I'm going to talk about my pick fives also next Monday and next Tuesday and Wednesday. But most of the information will be on the race day blog. Brad Anderson, thank you very much. Oh, Brad, look out, Brad. Come on, Brad. We're going to duel it out. Brad is going to be in the contest. So, Brad, good luck to you as well. Brad, let's just go 1-2. All right, you can take second. I'll take the top prize of 400K. You can take the 250K, and we'll just call it a day. How's that? We'll have a beverage. Michael Bryant, appreciate you commenting. Michael Bryant receives the blog. Thank you for the support there, Michael. I'll let the viewers, speak for themselves about the blog. But yeah, we've had a lot of good information on there. Getting back to the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. Again, not too much else to say on the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. So let's just go ahead and move on from that, and let's go on to the next race. The next race we're going to talk about is going to be the Turf Sprint. The Turf Sprint. Let's go ahead and bring that up right now. We're working on it here. And here we go. Here comes the Turf Sprint right now. There it is. The Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. Right now, it's going to be a full field of 12. You can see Casa Creed, ladies and gentlemen. Casa Creed has first preference of the mile, and Casa Creed, ladies and gentlemen, should be going to the mile. Again, Casa Creed is one of the top horses accepted into the mile. I'm expecting Casa Creed to go to the mile. We'll see what Mott finally decides. But assuming Casa Creed goes there, there will be 11 here in the turf sprint, unless one of the also eligibles. Actually, it probably will be 12. There is the also eligibles. The next one on the list that could go would be Caravel for Graham Motion, who is more of a closer. And then after that, it would be Bombard, who is a speed horse. And the Critical Way, by the way, is a very fast horse early. So if Bombard or the Critical Way gets in, you're going to be adding even more early speed than there already is in the turf sprint. I can tell you right now, folks, I'm going to have a very strong opinion in this race. I'll get to it in a second. A Case of You, a nice horse from Ireland coming in. We'll talk about him tomorrow on Thursday. Rest Me Red, one of the Wesley Wards. Charmaine's Mia, fast horse for D'Amato. Emirati Anna. I'll just tell you right now, folks, of the Euros running in this race, that's the one I'm most interested in. We're going to show replays, and we'll talk more about Emirati Anna on tomorrow's show, Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern. Extravagant Kid has been all over the world this year from America. Fast Boat. Gear Jockey, a horse we had here on the HHH Racing podcast that won at Kentucky Downs for us. Glass Slippers, does that name sound familiar? Yeah, won the Breeders' Cup Turf last year at Keeneland, the Turf Sprint, excuse me. Golden Pal will be the favorite for Wesley Ward. Kamari for Wesley Ward coming off a big layoff. And Lieutenant Dan, a horse I'm interested in, a horse that Magic from the Magic Mike Show is interested in from California in very sharp form for Steve Miotti. Let me just say this right now as I'm going to go ahead and go full screen here for a bigger, I'll just go bigger screen. Let me go this way, sorry. Let me say this, folks. I'm against Golden Pal. I said it. Bam. Drop the mic. I do not like Golden Pal at this spot. We're going to talk more about Golden Pal specifically next Wednesday when we do the show for the Saturday races. Golden Pal is going to be a low price. There's a lot of other early speed in this race. I don't love who he's beaten. I know Wesley Worth says this is the most talented horse he's ever had. I believe him, but I'm going to be against Golden Pal. I'm going to use him very, very, very defensively in my pick fours and pick fives. I don't know if I'll be betting this race in the BCBC, but if I am, I guarantee you I'm not going to have Golden Pal on top and any trifectas. Comment below the video player or comment in the live chat right now if you know Golden Pal. Is Howard crazy? Wouldn't be the first time that I'm trying to beat a favorite. Listen, a 12 horse turf sprint at Del Mar with other speed in the race. You want to take Golden Pal at 8-5, 9-5? No thanks. Not for me. Feel free to comment on the live chat there about Golden Pal. Is the field for the turf sprint. All right, let's move along here, folks. Like we have a bunch of other races to get to. Again, thanks very much for joining the show. Greatly appreciate it. Hope you're taking some notes down and you're listening carefully about comments on the pre-entries for the Breeders' Cup. Let's go ahead and move on. We're next gonna go to the Big Ass, not named after me. The Big Ass Fans Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. Let's go to the Dirt Mile right now. Here it comes. Dirt Mile. There it is. Big Ass Fans Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. This is going to be a field of anywhere between 9 to 11. There are 11 listed there. However, got some information for you in the Dirt Mile. CZ Rocket, you can see on the screen, his first preference for the sprint. I'm expecting him to go into the sprint. He can get in. There are two horses that you see in this race. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Stiletto Boy also listed at the bottom there. First precedence. He's going to the Classic. There's no doubt about it. So Stiletto Boy will go to the Classic. So that's two horses that are going to be coming out of this race, and there are not any also eligible. So right now it's a field of 11. If CZ Rocket and Stiletto Boy go to the sprint and the Classic, if they're supposed to, this will be a field of 9. A field of 9. 8 Rings, very fast horse for Bob Baffert early. Ginobili, a very fast horse early and in great form for Baltus. Jasper Prince from Japan should be going here. There's Life is Good. A complete, absolute monster. One of the horses that will be one of the lowest prices of the entire weekend. I think he's one of the most talented horses of the entire weekend. Turf, Dirt, Euro, American, Life is Good is a complete freakazoid. He's going to be tough to beat. Mind Control, the other Pletcher, who is a closer. Ping Zhang, plan going here. Restrained Vengeance. Silver State, who will probably be, I would say, second choice in this race. A very steady, solid, nice horse who's had some big wins this year for Asmussen, including the big mile race on Belmonte, the Met Mile, sorry. Snapper Sinclair should be going here as well. So again, they're going to have Life is Good to beat. Everyone knows it. The only question I have in this race, is can Life is Good rate if he needs to? That's the only question. Life is Good has been on the lead in every single race he's ever run. He's super fast early, faster than anyone in this race early if he wants to. My only question is if he goes super fast and so do others, can he just wear all them off and win? And number two, if for some reason he doesn't break perfectly or someone just decides to go 21-4 and 44 to the half, can he sit off of that a little bit? I'm assuming the answer is yes. Life is Good as a complete freak. He's going to be very tough to beat in the Big Ass Fans Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see. We got some comments here. Michael Bryan also likes Lieutenant Dan. I hope everyone doesn't like Lieutenant Dan. I might be betting him. I want to get a price there. Brad Anderson makes an excellent point. Post position will be the key in the turf sprint. By the way, just to let everyone know, let me get back to a bigger screen here. At Del Mar, the inside posts have actually been best going 5 furlongs on turf recently. Let me repeat that. At Del Mar, going 5 furlongs, you actually want to be on the inside. Those inside posts have done better at Del Mar. So Brad is correct. We'll see if that holds true. Tom Espinoza, not sure about the chances, but nice to see some entries from Japan. There's only one real horse, Tom, I think that's coming from Japan. They have 7 or 8 horses coming from Asia, Hong Kong, Japan. There's one that I think definitely has a shot at the Breeders' Cup in a week and a half. The others, I would agree with you, don't have much of a shot. All right, let's get into, again, I'm doing a lot of switching screens here. Apologize for that. Let's go ahead and get into the next. Actually, I just realized I don't have to. Whoop, sorry about that. I didn't want to do that. All right, let's go ahead and get in the next race here. Next race we're going to get into is going to be the Philly and Mare Turf. Now, this is where things get a little bit dicey in terms of first preference, second preference. So please pay attention very carefully, folks. Here we go. Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf. Fascinating race. Fascinating. It's going to be a full field. Right now, you see 14 horses listed. 14 horses. I shouldn't say it's going to be a full field. Let's run down the field. Aldaira, the returning champion, won last year, coming from back to try to win again. Dog Tag for Mandela, going to Vegas for Baltus. La Gioconda. I'm going to talk more about La Gioconda tomorrow, but I have some intel that I believe she is a rabbit. Again, I believe she's pretty much in here as a rabbit to set it up for Love. Now, I'll get into the preferences in just a minute. Love is mentioned right now on your screen there as first preference. I will talk about that in a minute. Love's Only You is mentioned for the Breeders' Cup Turf as second preference. Again, I will get into that. My Sister Nat, Pocket Square, both for Chad Brown. And you're going to get prices on Chad Brown in this race, by the way. So if you're a Chad Brown lover, you're going to get a price on My Sister Nat and Pocket Square. Queen Supreme, a fascinating horse, bred in Ireland, qualified for this race by winning a race in South Africa. First preference, is the mile. I'll get into that in a minute. Reina de Molendo, for a recent acquisition for Ken McPeak. Rauger coming in from overseas. There's Tarnawa. Tarnawa won the Breeders' Cup Classic last year. The Breeders' Cup Turf last year. You see the first preference is Turf. I'll get into where she's going in just a minute. Tiona also mentions the Turf, not this race, the Turf as first preference. And then the best American Hope by far, I would say, Warlike Goddess, a horse we've talked about on this show way back in January and February when she was running at Gulfstream. What a tremendous year she has had. All right, let me go full screen so I give you some details here. First of all, in this race, Tarnawa is going to the turf. There's almost no doubt about it. Tarnawa will be going back to the turf to defend her title against the boys. Tiona will also be going to the turf. It looks like this is a 3-year-old filly. We're going to talk about her more tomorrow on Thursday. But yes, she will not be in this race. It looks like she's going to face the boys in the turf race. Queen Supreme. It says the first preference is the mile. Folks, ignore that. I have some inside intel that Queen Supreme, they've been planning all along to go to this Philly and Mare Turf, which is obviously a much longer distance. This is a mile and 3/8, by the way. This year, last year was a mile and 3/16. This year it's a mile and 3/8. Keep that in mind. It is a longer race than it was last year. But Queen Supreme should be going in this race. Love's Only You. Love's Only You will be going to this race as well. Love's Only You, by the way, Tom Espinoza is the horse from Japan that's going to take the most money. This is a serious contender for the Philly and Mare Turf. We'll talk more about Love's Only You tomorrow. Love. Let me go full screen about Love here. Love, per my inside intel and according to Davey Lane, who is the UK handicapper who will be on with the show tomorrow, Thursday. Love is going to be going into the Philly and Mare Turf. Again, Love should be going to the race we're talking about right now, the Philly and Mare Turf. So it looks like we're going to have Love, and it's going to be a Love Fest. We got Love and Love's Only You in this race. And La Gioconda, this horse here, is more, this horse right here is more of a speed horse. So again, the thought here is that O'Brien is putting Logicandi in the race as a rabbit to set it up a little more for Love, who is a closer. That is the detailed information on the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf. This is going to be another fantastic, wide open race, a great betting race. I would almost guarantee that I would say I'd almost guarantee that I'm going to be betting this race in the BCBC. It's not really giving any secrets because you folks have no idea who or what kind of bet I would make. But this is a race I would definitely be interested in for sure in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf because it's going to be wide open. Let's see here. We've got a question from Ralph. Are there any? Yes, there are a bunch of 2-day wagers. I don't have them in front of me right now. Ralph, go on to breederscup.com. They'll talk about it. We will talk about the 2-day wagers. By the way, everyone see my ticket back there? That's my ticket for the Breeders' Cup. Yes, there are 2-day wagers. There's like a race, one from the juvenile to the um, another race. I can't recall which one. There's a bunch of them, folks. Again, I don't want to say on air what they are. I don't recall what they are. I looked at them, but the answer is yes. If you know about the 2-day wagers, folks, if someone wants to look that up and comment for Ralph there. In terms of 2-day pick three and pick fours, I believe. Hmm. I think there's going to be a 2-day pick six. Ralph, I don't think there's going to be any 2-day pick threes or pick fours. Don't quote me on that. I know there are 2-day doubles. I know for a fact, Ralph, there are 2-day doubles. I believe there's going to be a 2-day pick six. I'm not sure. I don't think there are 2-day pick three and pick fours. Again, the wagering menu is up on breederscup.com. You guys can take a look at that. Block Party. Block Party. I am not familiar with you. Thanks for joining the HHH Racing podcast and watching the show. Again, if you're new to the show, call your friends up, tell them to watch the show live. We can put in the live chat. Block Party, you are welcome. And again, of course, please make sure you subscribe to the Race Day blog by subscribing to this channel and then either sending me a DM on Twitter or emailing me your full name and we'll get you my Race Day blog for free. Coming up if you are not a subscriber to the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and move on to the next race, which is going to be. I'm sorry, let me show you one more thing. I apologize. Hold on one second here. If there are some defections, which are possible, those are the horses that would come in, the also eligibles, Acanella and Ocean Road. I don't think either one of these horses has any chance to win the race, but out of respect to the connections and giving you information, there are the also eligibles in the race that could come in. We've got a comment. Whoops, sorry, I didn't want you to see that. Excuse me one second. We got a comment. Michael Bryan. Man, Michael's awesome. There you go, Ralph. Juvenile turf to the turf. You've got another double. The Saturday juvenile to the distaff. And then you've got the Saturday juvenile to the classic. So that's going to be another one. There you go. So Michael Bryan, thanks a lot, Michael. Ralph, there you go. Shout out to Michael for the double bets. And again, you can look all those up as well. All right, let's go ahead here. Let's jump to the next race, folks. We only have a few more. Again, thanks for watching the show. The sprint. Let's get right to the sprint. This is always a great race every year. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. We're going to have anywhere from 10 to 12 in the sprint. There you go, folks. You've got Aloha West, a horse that I saw in person for Wayne Catalano, who, by the way, Wayne Catalano was sitting literally, folks, 2 feet from me. I'm gonna go that way. Wayne Catalano was literally sitting 2 feet from me live watching Aloha West in his last race in the Phoenix. I have a great story to tell about Aloha West. I'll save it for next week. CZ Rocket, she's second preference for the dirt mile. I'm going to go ahead and back to full screen. Dr. Shivel, horse from California. Frenzy Fire, and by the way, this will be Frenzy Fire's last race. Frenzy Fire, a great old war horse, is retiring after this race. Flagstaff for Sadler, another veteran. Following C, who qualified here by winning the Vosburg at Belmont, coming here for Pletcher. There's the big favorite, Jackie's Warrior. Unbelievably fast horse, great horse, is at a huge year for Steve Asmussen, will be the favorite. Jasper Prince, we talked about him already, should be going to the mile. Will not be in this race most likely. Lexingtonian, all this horse does is when he wins at like 50 to 1. He doesn't win often, but he's won at some big prices before. Matera Sky, a horse we'll talk about tomorrow on the show in detail. A very fast veteran coming in from Japan. Ping Zhang should be going to the dirt mile. And Special Reserve, who beat Aloha West in the Phoenix at Keeneland. A very nice, probably underrated horse for Michael Maker. There's the field for the Breeders' Cup Sprint. The only thing I'll just say about the Breeders' Cup Sprint here is that Jackie's Warrior, of course, will be the favorite. Um, we'll probably won't get an easy lead. Who's real speed? The only speed here, Lexingtonian, if they send hard, might be able to go with Jackie's Warrior early. I know for a fact Matera Sky can definitely go with Jackie's Warrior early. I don't know for how long, but Matera Sky, excuse me, is fast. Special Reserve is very fast, but is not as fast as Jackie's Warrior. So Dr. Shavo, by the way, is not a speed horse, despite what some people think. So Jackie's Warrior has a great chance to wire the field. There's a horse in this race I'm very interested in. Very interested, not to win the race probably, but underneath at a price. I will talk about that horse in particular next Wednesday on the show. But I do think Jackie's Warrior will be tough to beat. But I don't think he absolutely has to win. And there's a horse in this race I like quite a bit, especially underneath at what I saw, maybe 10 to 1 in this race. We'll talk about that horse next week. Got to do some teasers, folks, right? All right, let's move on. I'm going to go ahead and remove that from the screen. And let's move on to the next race. Again, thanks very much for watching here. We're going to end in about 10 or 15 minutes. We have more people than ever watching the show right now live than even who were watching at the beginning. So if you're just joining the show, again, this is Howard Kravitz in the HHH Racing Podcast. Thanks for joining the show today as we go through our pre-entries for the Breeders' Cup. Let's get on to the next race here. The next race is the Breeders' Cup Mile. Always one of my favorite races of the weekend. The only bummer in this race, I go and bring up the pre-entries, is that the very best milers in the world are not going to be here. The very best milers are either waiting until next year or whatever the case might be. I'm a little bit bummed about that. This is a very good race, and there are still very good horses going to the turf mile. But the best €3, I think you can make that argument. Palace Pier, Poetic Flair, and Baid are not coming. Keep that in mind. You got Blowout, a fast horse, a filly for Chad Brown. Casa Creed should be going here. Got Stormy, who is very polarizing horse, has run huge races in the past, is coming for Cassie. Hit the Road, a nice closer for Dan Blacker. In Love just won at Keeneland. There are Euros coming, and there's some good ones. Master of the Seas. Applebee's got two. This is one of them. This is the one that's going to be less bet. Master of the Seas for Charles Appleby, who all this guy's done is won a bunch of races this year in the States. Mo Forza, nice horse from California. Mother Earth for O'Brien. Order of Australia for O'Brien is not, let me repeat, let me go put myself on screen here. Order of Australia just came up today. Has a small injury, nothing major. But again, per Aidan O'Brien today, as I speak here on Wednesday, Order of Australia not going. So Order of Australia would not be in this race to repeat. Pearls Galore, nice horse from Europe, a filly, and actually I believe a 3-year-old filly. Raging Bull for Brown, Smooth Like Straight. Space Blues will be the favorite for Charles Appleby, and then Vin de Garde coming in from Japan will be a huge long shot in this race. Again, the major story here is I'm going to put myself on the bottom of the screen. The major story here is Order of Australia will not be going in this race. So who would be next on the list? There is the list, and there is a long list of horses that want to get in this race. By the way, how do you decide? As you can see on the top of the screen, the Breeders' Cup racing directors and secretaries decide who gets in. Ivar would be the next. I'm expecting Ivar to be in this race. If you like Ivar, Ivar should be going in this race because of what happened to Order of Australia. After that, you can see the order of the horses that would get in. Tell Your Daddy's more of a speed horse from the east. Some like it. Hot Brown is also a speed horse. You can forget the others on that list. There's the horse that would get in. But the main body of the field, folks, is right there on the screen. You're going to have to beat Space Blues for sure. Let's get some opinions here. Um, Michael Bryant, like I just said, Michael, Order of Australia is not coming. Tom wants to know what day I'm going to California. I'm traveling. Ooh, I don't know if I should say because of work. I'll tell you what, Tom. I will. Tom, I will tell you on Twitter. How's that? Or I'll send you an email. But let's just say that I will be there for both days. How's that? I'll be there obviously for both days, Friday and Saturday, for the Breeders' Cup. All right, let's move on from that topic. Again, the Breeders' Cup Mile is fantastic. I have another shot in this race, a long shot that I like. I can tell you this horse is gonna be double digits. I'm almost sure of it. There's a digit horse I like in this race. I'm actually going to talk about him tomorrow. I'll just give you a little hint. He is a Euro, and then I'll talk more about him also next Wednesday. But there is a Euro that I like in this race as a possible long shot. Ricky M. Ricky M. Good luck with blowout wiring the field. I will not say it's impossible. I would never say that because if for some reason, Ricky, speed horses are just doing very well on the turf in this country. I do not think she's going to wire the field. I will say there's not a ton of early speed in this race, Ricky. I will give you that. Ricky, there's not a ton of early speed in this race. There is some early speed, not a lot of it. I think blowout will give you a cheap thrill until about the top of the stretch. That's my opinion. But Ricky, good luck with blowout. She had a very nice win at Keeneland, and she's in the hands of Chad Brown. You can't go wrong there. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next race, folks, as we're getting close to the end of our show. Again, thanks for watching. Let's get to the distaff. The distaff is going to have a big favorite, and it's going to be a very interesting race. The distaff, as I bring it up on the screen, there we go. The distaff is going to have 11 in the main body of the field. There are no also eligibles. There you go. The field for the distaff as time goes by, who I believe is going to be sent very hard to the lead in this race to go after Latruska. I don't like as time goes by, but I think she's going to play a big pace factor in this race. Blue Stripe, who qualified for this race coming in from Argentina. Clariere, 3-year-old for Steve Asmussen. Dunbar Road has closed very nicely in her last two. Horologist, more of a speed factor. I don't think she can win this race. Latruska, big favorite there for Fausto Gutierrez. This horse, all she's done is won. She's had a monster year. If she wins here, she has a chance to be Horse of the Year. Malathot, a very nice 3-year-old filly for Pletcher. Won the Kentucky Oaks, will take a lot of money. Marche Lorraine from Japan pretty much has no chance. Private Mission, another horse for Baffert, a nice 3-year-old filly on the come. Royal Flag, a nice closer for Chad Brown, and She Dares the Devil for Brad Cox, who's also a nice horse. More tactical, will show early speed. This is a very nice field. All the horses you see should be going. It's going to be a field of 11. I think Latruska is clearly the horse to beat in this race. But in my opinion, Latruska can be beat. If you're a fan of Matt Bernier and the Matt Bernier Show, I sent in a video. It's one of those 1-minute videos. Again, if you're a fan of the Matt Bernier Show, you know what I'm talking about. And hopefully my 1-minute video will be up on the Matt Bernier Show that I think he's going to try to put out on the In the Money Media Network on Monday. One of the horses in here is a horse that I mentioned in my video. We'll talk more about this race a week from today on Wednesday. I will just say in general, I think Latruska can get beat, and I'm going to be betting against Latruska in this race. By the way, I'm not betting against all the favorites, okay? So if you're new to the show and you're thinking all Howard does is pick long shots, no. I when I like a favorite, you'll know. When I don't like a favorite, you'll know for sure. I think Latruska can get beat for sure in this race, especially if as time goes by is in the race. I think Baffert's going to be here for team tactics and go hard after Latruska with as time goes by because I think that's the way that Private Mission can win this race, which is the Albert Baffert. We will see. Oh my! Look who is here on the show. Matt Bernier. Matt, how you doing? Matt, thanks for joining the show, chiming in. It looks like Monday or Tuesday is when his show is going to pop up. Man, if you're at home, big round of applause, thumbs up for Matt Bernier. I'm going to have the pleasure of meeting Matt for the first time in person. Matt, we got to pick a beverage and a place and a time, buddy. Let me know. We'll talk off air, of course. But Matt, I've not met him in person. Looking forward to meeting Matt in San Diego at a undisclosed location, most likely with a beverage in both of our hands. Matt, thanks for everything you've done for my show and supporting the show. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, Michael Bryant, Matt is in the house. Matt wants to comment. He thinks I know who it is, Matt. Matt, I'm warming up to that horse. We're going to talk about it on my show on Wednesday. In fact, I'll tell you what, Matt. I'll just give you an open invite, Matt, live here on YouTube. Matt, if you want to come on for 5 minutes and talk about the horse you like on my show next Wednesday night, if you have any desire, I know you're going to be really busy and you might be traveling, and if not, I'm totally cool with that. But Matt, you have an invite to come onto my show, even if it's just for 5 minutes, and explain your reasoning about the 3-year-old filly you like in this race. And by the way, it's not Malathat. I know who it is. Maybe you know who it is. And I'm warming up to him. By the way, Matt, just to let you know, you probably know this already. Like I'm talking to an amateur here. But you folks at home, the horse that Matt likes outworked a horse going to the Classic. Matt, if you're still on, if you want to confirm that, I know it for a fact. I saw it on XBTV. Again, Matt, if you're still on, you want to confirm that. Malathat, or excuse me, not Malathat, the horse that Matt likes, not Malathat, outworked a stable companion that is going in the Classic. So the horse that Matt likes is in raging form right now and might just be running her race of her life next week. Matt, thanks for joining the show. If you got any comments for Matt, guys, he's watching right now. So if I'm not sure how long he's going to be on, but anyway, thanks for joining the show, Matt. Let's go ahead and move on. We've got a few other races to talk about. So the next race we're going to talk about is the turf. We got 2 more races to talk about, folks. It's the turf. Let's get on to the turf right now. This is the penultimate race of the day, a week from Saturday. It's going to be a great race. Now, there's a lot of information I have from very reliable sources. Matt says, cheers. Matt, thanks, buddy. Take care. We'll talk to you soon. Let's talk about the Breeders' Cup turf right now. All right. Breeders' Cup turf, folks. 14 horses. Can you believe there's going to be 14 horses in this race for the Breeders' Cup turf, most likely? There's the main body. We'll talk about also eligibles here in just a minute. Again, I appreciate everyone watching. If you're wondering when are we done, I'd say about 5 or 10 minutes we'll be done with the show. Acclimate, California Speed Horse. Astronaut, upset a race out in California. Domestic Spending for Chad Brown, the best American hope by far. Probably will be second choice in this race. Gufo for Clement. Emperador for Lobo. Love. Now, you see Love there. Second preference. Again, Love will be going to the filly and mare turf. Again, Love will not be in this race. Love's Only You. It says the first preference is the filly and mare turf. That's where she's going. But again, Love, the first preference is this race, but all indications from Davy Lane and the smartest UK punters and handicappers and media, Love, the Aidan O'Brien Love, will not be in this Breeders' Cup turf. Rock Emperor, a horse I've been chasing forever. And then I didn't really have a big win bet on him last time. I used him defensively, coming in for Chad Brown. Sisfahan, an interesting horse from Europe that we will talk about on tomorrow's show. Tarnawa, here to defend her title against the boys in the turf. Tiona, I think a very interesting horse, a 3-year-old filly running against the boys. United, who almost won at 52 to 1 2 years ago for Mandela. And then two horses for Charlie Appleby. Walton Street, who had a monster fig at Woodbine. And then Yabir, a nice 3-year-old who won the Breeders' Cup, or excuse me, the Belmont Derby, I believe it was called, or the one at Belmont last time out for Charles Appleby. Let me go back to semi full screen here again. Sorry for all the screen switching. Um, we need to talk about some very important things in this race. Now, the also eligibles, let me put them on the screen. Again, listen very carefully, folks. Japan for Aiden O'Brien would be the first one in. After that, it would be a horse that deserves to be in this race. I talked about this on Twitter with some people. I don't understand it. Tribhuvan should have been selected by this committee over Acclimate. No disrespect at all to the connections of Acclimate, who's a nice horse from California. Tribhuvan has accomplished more, in my opinion, this year especially, and just a better horse. Tribhuvan should be in this race, but I got news for you. He might. After that, you got two Aiden O'Briens. It'd be Broom or Bullshit Ballet. If you're a fan of one of these channel horses, they're not going to be getting in the race. There's no way. Channel Maker, Channel Cat, not getting in. Let me talk about this race. By the way, I see some comments from Michael Bryan and also Shy Riddick. I'll talk about your comment here in just a minute. And again, the show tomorrow is going to be huge because we're going to be talking about a bunch of these. With Love's Only You and Love going to the Filly and Mare turf, what's going to happen here, folks, is two of these horses are going to be definitely out of this race, for sure. At least two. Love and Love's Only You are not going to be in here. So if that happens, then Tribhuvan is definitely going to be in this race. So ladies and gentlemen, let me put myself on screen here a little bit. Tribhuvan is going. I would expect Tribhuvan to be in this race. Why is that important? Not only is he a nice horse, who I would say has an outside shot, he's got a lot of speed. So if you like a closer in this race, you want Tribhuvan to be in this race. If Tribhuvan is not in this race, that takes a lot of speed out of the race. So again, whether Tribhuvan is in or not is going to have a huge effect on the pace of this race. And then, of course, Aiden O'Brien would have a choice of either putting Japan, Broom, or Bolshoi Ballet in this race. So expect some changes in this race. But I think the big comment here is that Tribhuvan looks like he is going to get in. And with Acclimates and Tribhuvan both in this race, it sure looks like there's going to be some speed. Let's take some comments here. Michael Bryan, he's not the only one who likes Walton Street. Shy Riddick, thanks for joining the show. I don't believe I've seen you too much commenting on the HHH Racing podcast. Thanks for joining the show. Please make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Nancy Moran, yeah, no Mishriff. Nancy, of course, Mishriff was one of my sons, so to speak. I had Mishriff at 18 to 1 in the Saudi Cup. If you don't believe me, go back and look on Twitter way back in January. It's a story I've told a few times. It's one of the first tweets I sent out ever, like ever. I've only been on Twitter since January of this year in my entire life, and got a lot of great comments and won a lot of people money. And I was really proud of my Mishriff pick. I've been wrong many times, of course, like everyone, but that was one of my best hits of the year. Mishriff, unfortunately, is not going. But at Nancy, I think that opens up a little bit. Boys, there are a lot of Walton Street love. Let me go full screen. We'll be talking about Walton Street tomorrow on the show, but we're going to talk about Walton Street a lot more a week from today, Wednesday. I'll just give my 2 cents on Walton Street. I think he's interesting. He is tactical, so he's going to show some speed. He's not as fast as Acclimate or Tribhuvan, but he's going to be, just in behind them. Might sit a great trip. Is he good enough? That's the question. Ran a 110 buyer, by the way, at Woodbine, but Woodbine is a completely different turf course than Del Mar. It's wide sweeping with a long stretch. Del Mar is sharp turns. I don't think Walton Street fits Del Mar. That's one of my concerns, and the other concern is if he's really good enough. But Walton Street is interesting, I will say that. Yeah, Friar Road. By the way, thumbs up to Friar Road and thumbs up to Rispoli, who gave Friar Road, a horse I talked about in the show, for like 15 minutes, and then of course he goes off at 4-1. A great ride last time, but he's not going to be in the race. Tom Espinoza. Yes, Mishriff did help me. Thank you, Mishriff, along with obligatory, super sensational. We can run down the list. I have a bunch of sons and daughters that are in my stable, just chilling, hanging out. Um, I don't know if any of them are going to be racing at the Breeders' Cup. I got to think about that actually. Brad Anderson, Brad, who's again competing me. Domestic spending at least 6-1. No way. No way, Brad. No way are you getting 6-1 on domestic spending. I think domestic spending will be second choice. I'm going to say, I don't know. Comment what you guys think domestic spending. I'm going to say 7-2. I'll say 7-2 on domestic spending. Maybe 3-1 in this race. We'll see, Brad. You're not getting 6-1 in that race. All right, we've talked enough. Let's get to the classic, folks. Again, we're going to talk a lot more about the Euros tomorrow. We're going to talk in detail about this race a week from today on my Saturday Breeders' Cup show, which happens next Wednesday. Last race we're going to get into. Again, thanks again for everyone watching. Really appreciate it, especially Matt Bernier for watching and chiming into the show. The last race, of course, is the Classic. And this is very easy. There's 10 horses. There's no also eligibles. There's really not too much to talk about. We know all these horses. We've been talking about these horses all year long. There they are. It's going to be a 10-horse field in the Classic. Art Collector, Essential Quality, Express Train, Idol, Nix Go, Max Player, Medina Spirit, Stiletto Boy, and Tripoli. I would be shocked if any of these horses are not in this race. They're all going to be going. We all know about this race. It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait for it. It's basically Nix Go against the 3-year-olds, unless there's someone else you like. Who's going to be the favorite in this race? Comment in the chat right now, real quick. We'll take a quick survey, folks. Who will be favored in this race? Is it going to be Nix Go or is it going to be Essential Quality? Or if you think it's someone else, type. And you don't even type in the whole thing. Nix Go, just KG for Nix Go, or EQ for Essential Quality. I'll put it up on the screen. Who's going to be the favorite in the Classic? KG for Nix Go, EQ for Essential Quality. Again, I'll put it up on the screen when I start seeing some people put in a guess. The question is, can Nix Go get loose? And if he can't, is he going to take pace pressure? And if he takes pace pressure, most likely from Medina Spirit, is he going to win? And if it's not Nix Go, is it Essential Quality? And if it's not him, who else can it be? We got people put on the screen. We got, let's see, let me go right from the top here. Here we go. Nancy likes EQ as again, not who your top choice is. Who's the favorite? Tom is going with Nix Go. Brad also Nix Go. Michael Bryan, Nix. It looks like everyone thinks Nix Go. Nix Go. We got more. Paul. Paul, thanks for joining the show. Siggy, Nix Go. But everyone thinks Nix Go. I'll tell you what. Let me take that off the screen. Essential Quality is getting a lot of buzz right now. I think it probably will be Nix Go, but not by a lot. I think it'll be Nix Go 9-5, and then Essential Quality 2-1, 5-2, somewhere around there. We'll see. Jimmy, thanks for joining the show. I'm not familiar with you. Really appreciate it. Please tell all your friends about the show. Singling Max Player. Wow. Like your guts there, Jimmy. Thanks for joining the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that is all that we need to talk about for the pre-entries. Again, very quick before we leave tonight. Again, just got a few more minutes, folks, so please hang with me for a few quick announcements. Again, on the bottom of the screen, tomorrow, of course, it depends when you're watching. If you're watching this live or even as a replay, Thursday, tomorrow, 5 p.m., we're going earlier, guys. Hopefully you can see it from work or maybe you're getting off early or whatever the case might be. And if not, of course, you can watch the replay. But 5 p.m. Eastern, I'll be live with a great guy, a handicapper who's been on this show. He's won contests out there. He's got his nose to the grindstone. He knows everything about European racing. Will be here. Davey Lane will be live. He's coming on live. He lives in Great Britain. He'll be on live at his time, 10 o'clock. And not only that, folks, we're going to watch a lot of replays tomorrow. Everyone knows it's very important to watch these Euros and see the visual handicapping. So I know a lot of you, like me, maybe weren't familiar with some of these horses. I am very familiar with them now. We're going to watch a lot of replays tomorrow. It is a must watch for your handicapping tomorrow, 5 p.m. Again, 5 p.m. Eastern for the Euro show. And then, as you see on the screen, next Tuesday and Wednesday, my normal time, 8 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have great guests. We're going to have jockeys coming on the show to talk about their mounts. Tuesday will be the Friday BC races. Wednesday will be the Saturday BC races. We'll also talk about ticket construction. Then finally, if you have not subscribed to my Race Day blog, please go ahead and subscribe. But if you want, if you're just interested in the Breeders' Cup, I'm doing this for free. That's the kind of guy I am. And in hopes, of course, that you will purchase the blog later on. But if you have not subscribed to my channel, you will get the free blog for Breeders' Cup if you either send me a DM on Twitter or you email me with your full name. If you're on Twitter, by the way, you have to send me your email address. But then you also have to be a new subscriber to my channel. Again, a new subscriber to my channel, and I know who's a subscriber and who's not, so please respect that. But if you do that, subscribe as a new subscriber to my channel, and then either send me an email with your full name or on Twitter, send me your full name and email address. I already have a whole bunch of people that are getting a free blog with all my picks, ABCs, more information on the Breeders' Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that is about it. I don't. No other comments need to be made. Again, tomorrow. So I'm just fixing a few things here that I'm getting ready as we close out the show. There we go. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, with the one and only Davey Lane going through many Euros. It's going to be about a 90-minute show. We're going to show replays. Thanks for watching the pre-entry show on the HHH Racing Podcast. This has been your host, Howard Kravitz. Until tomorrow, take care and good night.